This is Lucas Ross Sports. Lucas Ross, your commentator, and we continue our 2022 college football predictions. The Miami Hurricanes are up next. I'll give you an official prediction on this team, give you my thoughts on this team, and go through the schedule, and we will go from there. But before we do that, let's look back at 2021 and this Miami team. In 2021, the Miami Hurricanes went 7-5 overall. They had a tough up-and-down season last year. I expected this Miami team to be a lot better than last year, honestly, but, I was really high on this team. I had them, maybe going all the way to the ACC championship last year, and Miami just wasn't really that good. I know the record may not look like it, but that is not what I think Miami fans want to be like. But you can look at the offense and defensive rankings, 23rd on offense last year, so a good number there. They were a top 25 offense. Defensively, they were 85th in the country last year. Not a good defense overall, but the defense has a lot of coming back. We'll get to the production in just a minute. Points per game on the offensive side of the ball, they averaged 34.1 points. Good number there. The defense, they gave up 28.4 points a game. Not really good number there, but I think it's going to be better than last year as well. But if you look at this Miami team, they do return quite a bit on the defensive side of the ball. Almost everybody back on that side of the ball. The offense should be really good as well. We get to the schedule here now for Miami in 2022. It's not a bad schedule. They don't have to play any big, game in the first game of the year. They face Bethune-Cookman. This is a school that I don't really know about. I think this is a game that Miami should take care of business in. They had no business. And then they also play Southern Miss out of the non-conference. That's not a bad game either. So I think Miami will start out 2-0 on the season. They get 2 wins there, by maybe 30-plus points or something like that. They score a lot. And then there's that big game on the road against Texas A&M. Interesting matchup here. Miami, though, heading on the road in this game. It's going to be a tough place to play, and also it's going to be a tough environment. Texas A&M coming in with the number 1 ranked recruiting class. This is a team that I'm really high on, but not quite as high. Maybe not a 10-win season this year for Texas A&M, but I just haven't had time to study for them. But Miami is, playing on the road. Do I see it being a close game? Yes, I do. Short scoring matchup. It is probably going to be a short scoring game. But with it being on the road, and at the end of the day, I think Texas A&M is going to win it here. I think they do pull away probably in this game, but it won't be enough for Miami to pull off an upset. Let's be honest. If Miami was ranked in the top 25, and if Texas A&M was ranked in the top 10, I don't really see it being an upset, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be an upset. And then they take care of business, though, against Middle Tennessee. So that ends their month of October. They are officially 3-1. They get a bye week rather early in the season, playing North Carolina at home, though, on October the 8th. It's going to be an interesting matchup here, but North Carolina is not the same team. Sam Howell is gone, so obviously North Carolina, though, they still have a little bit coming back this year, but I don't think it will be enough. I think Miami is probably going to come into this game really fired up. And these two teams have been the best, 2 teams in the Coastal Division for the last few years now. I think Miami does beat North Carolina here, and they're playing North Carolina rather early this year, which is kind of surprising to me a little bit. But I think Miami does get the win there, and I think they do, defeat North Carolina here. Next game is on the road at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, has a lot of question marks on the offensive side of the ball, defensively as well. Not defensively. Both defenses might really, do good in this game. I think it's going to be a really tough game here for Miami. It's not going to be an easy game. It's a game that can go either way. It's a game that can go either way. But Virginia Tech, they have a lot of question marks. I don't really see Virginia Tech pulling off a win here. I think Miami does beat Virginia Tech on the road. I think with the offense overall coming back for Miami, I think they do step it up finally here. And we're in the month of October, and this is where we find out where the teams are, and I think Miami is right where they want to be. So I think they do defeat and get off to a great start there with Virginia Tech. Next game is at home against Duke. Duke is a team that has a lot of question marks. They lost a lot from last year. I don't think Duke is going to be really that talented of a team this year. I'm not really high on them as well. I think this team has just got a lot of question marks. and I think Miami does defeat Duke here at home. Next game is on the road at Virginia. This is another game that maybe can go either way, but not really quite a ways there. But it will be, maybe they give Miami a scare in the first quarter probably, but Virginia doesn't really have an opportunity, I think, to beat Miami here. I don't think Virginia will get even close. I think Virginia does, lose that one, but Miami does get the win there, maybe by 3 touchdowns, maybe by 2. So I think Miami does defeat Virginia here on the road. Next game is at home against Florida State. Big game here. I think this is a big game here. It's potentially a top 25 matchup, maybe a top 15 matchup as well, maybe a top 10. Florida State is a team that I'm really high on this year. We got both great defenses here going at it. I think it's going to be a defensive battle here for the rest of the game. And I tell you what, I had to go back and forth on this so many times. Florida State and Miami is, of course, a rivalry game. It's a great rivalry game as well. I had to go with Florida State. I think, with the, returning production advantage, I got to give it to Florida State. I got to go with the Seminoles. Like I said in my Florida State video, I said Florida State, I think, would win, and I think the Seminoles will get it done. But this is an interesting game. It's potentially a top 15 matchup. Just don't sleep on it. It could be a game where College Game Day is at as well, so expect that to be a really top showdown in the rivalry game. Next game is on the road at Georgia Tech. This is a game that, Miami is looking for redemption here, but after that Florida State loss, and I think they do get that done. Georgia Tech is a team that I'm not really high on either, and I think I see, Miami going in there and blowing out Georgia Tech on the road. And then there's that game on the road at Clemson. This is an interesting matchup as well. Clemson, obviously a team that, has a lot coming back on the offensive side of the ball. DJ Ogilvie back at quarterback. Is Clemson going to be a lot better than they were last year? I think they really are going to be better. The question is, how good will they be on that side of the ball on the offense? But DJ Ogilvie's got to get it going. I think he does get it going, but this game right here is close. Let's be honest, it will be close. But at the end of the day, though, with it being in Death Valley and on the road, I don't really see Miami pulling off an upset there. I think Clemson gets it done, and I just don't really see Miami, going in there on the road and just really potentially upsetting Clemson there. And the final game is against Pittsburgh here. Pittsburgh is a team that returns a lot this year, coming back. They're probably ranked in the top, close to the top 30 in returning production this season. This is a back-and-forth contest. This maybe decides the Coastal Division. Let's be honest, I think both of these teams are really at that top for the Coastal Division there. I think it decides the Coastal Division overall, but, I think Miami's going to be fired up in this game. If Pittsburgh was ranked in the top 10 by this point, I would see an upset. I think Miami does pull off a win here at home in the final game of the season. And I think they do win the Coastal Division if that happens, let's be honest. But we haven't gotten through all the ACC predictions yet. We got to see which team could be a contender as well. And the overall prediction for Miami is 9-3 in 2022. There's potential losses, though, on the schedule. I mean, of course, maybe Virginia Tech is a loss. But I think this schedule really sets up nicely for Miami to win the Coastal Division this year. Florida State and Clemson are big losses, but I mean, I think they still maybe can finish 10-2, but I think Miami does finish 9-3. Give me your thoughts on this Miami team down in the comments below. We'll begin with more football predictions throughout the week. And stay tuned here for more on Lucas Ross Sports.